Dearest, beloved, divine friends, brothers and sisters, in the concourse of humanity, the fraternity of religions, the Caribbean, the diaspora, the world. Welcome to another of RK's Guyana Free Media in the Raw. And of concern to me today, friends and families, is that CGX is to build Guyana US $155 million for one dry well on the quarantine block. And here it is. Today's Kaicho News of page 15, November 10th, 2020. And for me, and to my opinion, I cannot understand, ladies and gentlemen, how we could have these kinds of things. I don't understand. If I'm a businessman and I apply in your country, or I decide to do a business in Guyana, I get a license and approval from the government of Guyana or from you, and I decide as an investor that I will be getting, I call the shots, 90%. Nobody getting 50%, so they're getting 90%, 2% royalty or whatever. In some cases, no royalty, which I really can't understand. I can't comprehend, because I decide I want to be the investor with some partnership maybe with you or with the government. But if I go and drill and I'm the investor and I'm the major shareholder and I go drill for oil or set up something and the machinery explode or it doesn't work or I hit a dry well, like in this case with CGX, ladies and gentlemen, friends and families, I expect you or the government who give me the license and the permit, and I bring in my workers and I take your money to feed my workers and myself and to live in luxury. Something is wrong with this business project or this business plan. My view is not only CGX, all of them. Close it down. Let them go home. And let us do what we were doing all the time. And we were still living and surviving. We haven't achieved anything extra. All we are in debt. What have we gotten so far? $4 million US? Or something of that sort? That is stored in the United States account? And if we have a problem with the United States, for some reason, they hold our money down and lock it off, you can't even get your money. You put our gold, and if you have a problem with them for some reason, they lock your gold down and you can't get it ever. I don't understand these business transactions. I prefer to store my money and my gold and whatever I have in areas or in countries where I will get my resources whenever I want it. And in this case, I'm investing and I'm drilling a well, and let us say even if it's for water, and I want to bring water to produce water and supply water in Guyana, or petroleum, or oil as you call it, and I hit a dry well of water or petroleum or whatever, you mean you expect the government or you who give me the permit to pay? And that would be a fantastic business, man. That would be like tobacco and alcohol, to get people addicted to the product, and you get rich, who is the investor, and the people get sick, and the country has to pay for all the medicine and all the medical and whatever support we got to give them when the consumers get drunk and diseased and cirrhosis of the liver and brain illness and heart illness and stomach illness, and the liver is burnt out. We, the taxpayers, have to pay for them, and the rum company are basking with their shareholders in the great profit that they make. But the doctor fees and hospitalization paid by us, the people, the citizens. Same thing with the oil. They hit nothing. They got big mouth. They're investing. They're buying their food with our money, or I'm buying food for my people in luxurious levels, drinking every water, every toilet paper that I use, every trip that I make with premium trips, that you have to pay for it or the government. Doesn't make sense to me, man. Something I don't understand. I know in business, if I go do business and I collapse, I have to take the losses. If I open a restaurant and I got a license from the government or the mayor to open my restaurant and it runs bankrupt, the government, the mayor is not going to finance me or take the cost. So if they run bankrupt and they run out of resources, they're going to build a country, $155 million US like in this. Now, I'm not against, people got to understand me, listen to me carefully. I'm not against CGX. I mean, I got to admire these guys. I don't think CGX or ExxonMobil or Total, all of them, which is taking us for a ride, and in which Suriname, in their negotiations, are making Guyana look downright petty, ludicrous, ridiculous, and stupid, if you ask me, friends and families, ladies and gentlemen. In their negotiations, where we are getting nothing in some cases and 2%, and we are paying all their expenses, including their toilet people. Ladies and gentlemen, citizens of Guyana, you are paying for their toilet paper and their toothpaste at premium dollars. And this contract was signed and agreed to by Trotman of the APNO AFC and inherited by the new PPPC government. But to my opinion, the PPPC government need to do more so that the people of Guyana can have some opportunity. Even the Prime Minister of Trinidad said, we need to renegotiate and contracts can be renegotiated. And advised us, and we're not listening to anyone, friends and families. As a Guyanese citizen, these things pain me, friends. It pains me. Following the first discovery of significant amounts of hydrocarbons at the Liza well in the Stabroek Block, American oil giant ExxonMobil quickly put Guyana on notice that it is owed $450 million in exploration costs. So I'm going to end there for now, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't want to get blanked out. Let me see how much time. No, I can go up a little bit more. Sorry. So they're talking about ExxonMobil did $450 million. Do I hate ExxonMobil? No. I have to salute the guys. They're smart. Like the former or the current president still, and soon to be former president Donald Trump. He said he was smart. Why he was not able, did not have to pay any taxes to the IRS of the United States or to the country, because he was smart. ExxonMobil is smart. You can't blame the people for being smart. We got to kick ourselves for being stupid. And Mr. Trotman should be made to pay back every cent because he said he did not sign any document. I beg your pardon. He said he did not read any document that he signed. Remember, this is a raw, ladies and gentlemen, so I can't do any editing. He did not read the document. He just signed because you know why, ladies and gentlemen? The Americans and all these Europeans and so on, they know how to feed and how to fet you and how to confuse your mind when you're going into negotiation for business. That is how come they buy over the whole of Manhattan, I think for 12 or 13 American dollars, because they feted and drunked the chief of the Apache Nation at that time. So our people also, at various times in negotiating business, could be drunk and made confused with luxuries temporarily, and they sign because these guys are nice guys and they're going to have bad weather in tropical Guyana. Weather will turn bad, they need to hustle and sign, or the bad weather is going to come in. You know, we're going to have winter storm and thunder and lightning will strike tropical Guyana. So friends and family, I don't understand this business. Somebody want to explain to me? The oil giant claimed that these costs were incurred from the time it was awarded the license. So as soon as they get permission to do a business, I thought they were investors. So as soon as they get to a license, a permission then, they start to charge money to the government. After it made this known, ExxonMobil and the Granger administration negotiated and signed a lopsided production sharing agreement in 2016, according to Kaicho News, and essentially laid out favorable provisions for the company because they're desperate. They want to show something is happening. You know, they're doing something to pull wool over the people's eye so they could hopefully win an election which they could never win due to Moses Nagamutu and Ram Jatan and the AFC and the sugarcane closure, that industry. They could never win and they never will win. I'm not being negative, I'm not wishing them bad. I'm telling you reality. The APNU AFC cannot win another election because of what the AFC did to their supporters in the Upper Quarantine and in other areas. Never for our lifetimes, friends and families, ladies and gentlemen. Read my lips. Read my lips. The APNU AFC will never win an election again in our lifetimes and maybe for another 50 to 100 years. They made a huge mistake without consulting people. Anyway, that's a different matter. So this lopsided deal, ExxonMobil said that Guyana has to pay additional costs it racked up. How do we measure the cost? How do we know the cost? They racked up costs. They want business. They want 95% or 90% or 99%. Now we have to pay them to do everything, and we get nothing, ladies and gentlemen. Next to nothing. We got some development will take place and so on, and off of debts and so on. But it's around US $900 million before a drop of oil was pumped, and the country is yet to verify those costs. We don't even have the manpower or the intellectual capacity or experience to verify those costs. Yes, we do have President, former Dr. Barajak Dale. We do have President Dr. Irfan Ali and some other professionals. Now we have Dr. Singh, Ashley Singh is back. God bless him. But my point is, we don't have enough of the manpower nor the resources to hire them. And when we hire them, it has to be in debt. And our regular taxpayers' money, poor people like me and you, employees, workers, we have to take our money to finance ExxonMobil and to finance CGX. But remember, I am not annoyed with CGX and I'm not annoyed with ExxonMobil. It is our negotiators and our people in power, some of whom have ulterior and had ulterior motives. Following an examination of the latest financial statements of CGX Resources Inc., it is clear that this exploration company is poised, ready, set to do exactly what ExxonMobil did to Guyana. Should it make a commercial discovery on its quarantine block? In other words, if it, first of all, it wants to bill us $105 to $5 million for a dry well the investors were involved in, are supposed to stand their expenses. They're billing us US $155 million. And I said, talk about ludicrosity and gross stupidity in business as far as I'm concerned. Now, talk about if they should discover the oil now, they are going to bill us again and carbon copying the techniques of ExxonMobil according to Kaicho News. I said, ExxonMobil, you're not my enemy. CGX, you're not my enemy. And I do find it amazing that you have the skill to pull the wool over the eyes of the leadership so you can have what you want and expect a poor country like Guyana to pay you. I mean, you guys got to be good, man. You guys got to be good, smart. Like President Trump said, he's smart. And you're smart to get our taxpayers to have to foot your bills. According to the company's quarterly financial statements for the period ended June 30th, 2020, CGX noted that it will recover US $155 million against any future commercial production. Importantly, CGX said that these costs are brought forward from the original COENTYNE license. The company's latest financial report notes that the original COENTYNE petroleum agreement was awarded in 1998, following which the company began an active exploration program consisting of 1,800 kilometers of seismic acquisition underground, on the shore, to do works that these lands are theirs that they acquired. This was in preparation to drill the Eagle well. At this late time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll pause, I'll cut off, and then I'll come again. So please stay tuned, friends and families. So we ended with Eagle well. CGX noted that the Eagle drilling location in 2000 was 15 kilometers within the Guyana-Suriname border. However, border dispute between Guyana and Suriname led to the company being forced off the Eagle location before drilling could begin. As a result of the incident, CGX said all active offshore exploration in Guyana was suspended by CGX and the other operators in the area, including Exxon and Maxos. So they all closed down and left. But the Surinamese are smart people. They negotiated with other people at a much better pricing and percentage, and the company's got to pay their taxes. In Guyana, they don't have to pay no taxes, ladies and gentlemen. You and I, Guyanese, we got to pay the taxes to finance them, to do their business, pay government officials, run the country, pay police, pay to develop Guyana. But this big company that we are financing with our tax dollars do not have to pay any taxes. Oh my God. Talking about, wow. Yes, Mr. Trump, and yes, CGX, and Exxon, and Repsol, and all of you, you gotta be very smart not to pay any taxes. I'm very stupid. I don't know how not to pay taxes, because if I try it, they come and they try to close me down, seize my building. I paid and I was threatened. And they're not satisfied. They wanted $14 billion more, as if I'm running a mint a few years back, ladies and gentlemen. On September 17, 2007, the International Tribunal in the Law of the Sea awarded a maritime boundary between Guyana and Suriname. We won that case, thanks to Dr. Marajak Deo. When you were president, you fought that, and you know we would win, and when we did. CGX was keen to know that it financed a significant portion of Guyana's legal expenses, but this only came up to 9.8 million. So if you financed it, you want us to pay you back? It's because you want to make money here. Sorry, government of Guyana, people of Guyana, we need to come and teach people who have to make these decisions that we are the bosses, and they should not be paying anybody for anything. They come here to invest, and invest they must do, and if they lose, they lose. That is how it works. And they can't sell without permission, and we have to get 40 to 50% of the profit. If anybody, like Guyana Goldfields did, we got not a cent. Canada made all the money. So what is supposed to do? We're supposed to get 50%. You come put up a few tents and a few cheap machines and said they're not making money, and then sold it for $200 million US, and Guyana got no tax money, but Canada got tax money. Man, we got to be some really sick people in this country. Glenn Lyle, I understand your concern, my friend. And why governments do this in poor countries, ladies and gentlemen, is because they want to show and they want to create development and they want to create employment. But we should not sell our nerves, nor our resources, our nation, and particularly our nerves, because this will give you nervous breakdown and send you mad as far as I'm concerned. After the matter was settled in 2007, CGX moved to acquire 3D seismic in Guyana to enhance its interpretation of its newly defined Eagle Deep prospect, a large stratigraphic trap in the Cretaceous zone where the crustaceans and so on, they want to come on shore now, and so on, and try to find a new location where they could find this oil. The cost of the seismic program was approximately US 8 million. Processing and interpretation of the 3D seismic data was completed in 2009. So they want us to pay for all of that. They want to search. We didn't hire them. We didn't hire CGX to give them a license to operate. We didn't hire ExxonMobil or Repsol. They came here to discover oil, to help their country get rich and themselves get rich and enjoy the big life. Why must we pay them back? They have to pay those costs, not us. We didn't hire them. We give them approval to search in our country. Ladies and gentlemen, I need your opinion on this, This is a serious matter. Very, very serious in our country. And our politicians need to take hold of this reality. The company went ahead with Eagle Well and drilled the same on February 13, 2012. That well was later declared a dry hole. So I have to pay them? And if they had made all the money, how much I would have gotten? In November of that year, the company was awarded a new petroleum license for the COENTYNE block. And we have to pay them for everything, including their toilet paper, and their food, and their medicines, and their doctors, and their big lives, and the fancy houses, and buildings, and hotels, friends and families. This is a cause for depression. Reflect and think, and remember that we, the people, that we are the owners of our nation. Everything was sold out in 2016. Everything sold out, given away, ladies and gentlemen. We got locked into a situation, and the current government, hands were tied, because the system was created. The system was created. And therefore, the example set. And the tongue of this, we are investors really. The tongue of the drillers who owns everything gets sweet. And they all want more and more of your tax dollars and mine. So friends and family, your brother, me, your friend, Haji Roshan can ask you to open up your heart, to think, to reflect, and to consider whither Guyana, whither what a poor country, where are we going? Concentrate on agriculture, ladies and gentlemen. Remember that food will always be needed. And the scraps can be made into fertilizer, as humus, or compost for planting. Again, oil will be finished. Those who made it will leave us confused, in depression. Those who make the money and took the money out of our country, they will leave us alone, sometimes in political drama and trauma. And sometimes it destroy the economy. I know. With President Dr. Irfan Ali, Vice President Dr. Bara Jagdeo, Mark Phillips, Brigadier, Prime Minister, Natural Resources Minister, and all the other great ministers, you'll try the best you can. We have to ensure that our company, that our country is not used and abused, and our country is not sucked out of everything, and we are left with nothing and left in bankruptcy. Because the way the oil company seems to be operating, because they're so smart and intelligent, and I'm not blaming them, I'm blaming our peoples. In 2016, particularly Mr. Trotman, for technically not even selling out because he got nothing, for giving away Guyana for next to nothing. Your friend, your brother, me, Haji, Dr. Roshan Khan, saying thank you for joining me on this, In the Raw, RK's Guyana Free Media. And I say to you, farewell, friend.